From the 8th of February the next year, India's Supreme Court will begin its final hearing over the disputed Ayodhya site. There were heated arguments in court today as the Sunni Waqf board sought that the hearing be deferred to after national elections are held in 2019. Lawyers who represented Hindu organizations objected, saying that the court must treat the Ayodhya case like any other. Ultimately, the three-judge bench refused to defer the hearing, saying it was shocked.
प्रिंसिपल का यह कहना था कि इसका जो 2019 में लोकसभा चुनाव होगा उस पर असर पड़ेगा, इसीलिए जून 2019 के बाद इस मुकदमे की सुनवाई रखी जाए। इस पर कोर्ट ने कहा कि साहब हमें लोकसभा चुनाव या अन्य किसी भी परिस्थितियों को ध्यान में नहीं रख के कानून के हिसाब से जो भी निर्णय होंगे ये कोर्ट वैसा निर्णय करेगी।
एक पक्ष कह रहा था कि इसकी हियरिंग 2019 में कर दी जाए क्योंकि ये बीजेपी का एजेंडा है, उस आधार पर कोर्ट काम कर रही है। दूसरे पक्ष ने कहा शुरू किया जाए, फिर बात में आई, अंत में ये बात आई कि डॉक्यूमेंट्स तैयार नहीं है, उनको रेडी किया जाए। एओआर को डायरेक्ट किया गया कि आप लोग आपस में एक्सचेंज करके डॉक्यूमेंट्स ठीक कर लें, आप लोग एक्सचेंज कर लें आपस में।
हम लोगों की डिमांड है कि जल्द से जल्द राम मंदिर बने, तो इसलिए हम लोगों ने यही कहा है कि जल्दी से जल्दी राम मंदिर बनने के लिए व्यवस्था प्रशस्त किया जाए, समय न बढ़ाया जाए।
Now a little bit of history. On the 6th of December 1992, thousands of right-wing activists razed the Babri Mosque in Ayodhya, claiming it was built on a temple marking the birthplace of Lord Ram, which was destroyed in the 16th century. 2,000 people were killed in the riots that followed the Babri Masjid demolition. In 2010, the Lucknow bench of the Allahabad High Court said that the site should be shared between Hindus and Muslims. Both Hindu and Muslim organizations involved in the dispute rejected the order and appealed against it to the Supreme Court of India, which in March this year suggested an out-of-court settlement as the preferred solution. And joining us live on the broadcast tonight, Jessica Taneja, our correspondent in New Delhi. Jessica, good evening to you. Thank you very much for joining us. Indeed, these might well be the last phase of a dispute which has been going on legally for 25 years.
One cannot really say, Daniela, because the case, the way it has been going forward, it's very difficult to predict or preempt at this point in time, and I'd like to not make that mistake by, in fact, saying that this might be, and I know this might not be, because the case might proceed forward with a lot of different exhibits that are still in place, need to be translated, need to be produced before the court, need to be given to all the parties to be able to understand where the case is going. Remember, there are as many as 90,000 exhibits that need to be translated from various languages. But that is not the problem here, Daniela. The problem here is that the kind of out-of-court settlement that the Shia Waqf Board and the Sunni Waqf Board have tried to have but have miserably failed, that is not exactly what the court will be able to consider and see. The court needs to go on the fact, simply on the facts of the case or the judgment which was given by the Allahabad High Court back in 2010. And the court is there only to examine it legally, not otherwise. I mean, there have been instances where, an atmosphere of animosity has been tried to create inside court, but, the law is above all, and the law has always made sure that things will function in a democracy the way they should.
So basically you're telling us that there is absolutely no political influence on the case, and the court will decide just following the law without any political interference.
Sorry, Daniel, that was not really audible. Pardon me, could you just repeat that?
Yes, definitely. So you're saying that the court will be able to resist the political pressure regarding the Ayodhya case and will take a decision only based on the law?
If I heard you right, Daniel, you asked me whether the court could resist the political pressure. I think the court's, it's such an authority in the country that it's such an institution that in fact it resists itself from making any political allegiances, is what we know. That is why we go to apex court, or we call it the Supreme Court of the country. Well, they will be able to, in fact, but the way the proceedings had gone today, it was made clear that the court will not side away with any party here. It's here to listen to all the parties on the submissions they have to make and what kind of relevant material they can add to the existing case that has been going on for years and years. There were questions from the Sunni Waqf Board lawyer who was represented by a couple, Sybil, who had argued, saying that there were not enough exhibits given to them. They were not informed about a lot of transcripts which should have been given to the Sunni Waqf Board as well, a very big party in the case. But he also made sure to mention that the Apex Court shouldn't listen to the matter until 2019 July. And 2019, and remember, is the time where elections will be held. So the Apex Court will take into consideration the next hearing, which is the 8th of February, as to what they want to do with the case, how they're going to proceed. But this time they made sure that all the parties receive these exhibits. Now, Daniela, it's important to remember that it is because of these exhibits that the case has been stuck at one place for a very long time. Had these exhibits been translated on time, given to a party that was capable of doing it, this case would have been moving forward. But what it looks like, it's still in the water.
Thank you very much for your perspective. Jessica Taneja joining us from New Delhi, helping us to understand what will happen.